All right, we're going, baby.
Ooh, okay.
We're back at it. I
Back
wish
at
the
it
audience
again.
could have seen what we just went through to get to where we're at right now. That
Well,
was
it
pretty
works
funny.
perfect now. Just working the kinks. Just working out the kinks. We're
Guys,
about.
if you saw our setup, I wish I could turn the camera around somehow and so I could show you the level of ghetto that we're working with right now. We're both on basically what coffee tables with extenders and crappy equipment
my
everywhere.
my GoPro is mounted to a vase, but it's the perfect mount because it hangs it just actually exactly where like my computer screen is there. My GoPro is there.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you
Yep.
tell that I'm looking at you?
No, that's the
Okay.
thing. I
Oh,
keep having to look into the camera, which is throwing me off. Mine is suction cup to the back of my laptop. It's actually working pretty good, but it is weird having to keep looking at you down there and the camera's up there. But we were
yeah,
making it work.
I can't really tell. It looks good. Just keep
Okay,
looking
good.
at me.
All right, good. Okay.
Well,
You might have noticed people out there that
dude,
we have green screen technology now.
your audio is slightly loud.
Okay, we'll
It's
do an
real.
adjustment here.
Dial her back.
Dial it back. All right, I'm getting
Dial that
excited here.
dial that tin can
Getting
back.
this Amazon mic. Oh God, we're so poor. It's hilarious.
Folks, we promise that today is Wednesday night. Wednesday night is going to be our religious record night. We promise.
Well, as you can tell, we've put in some serious effort here. We got
Yes.
an official setup now.
We got freaking backdrops. We got GoPro cameras recording. We got the whole deal. So the next step would be I want the Shure mic because I always buy the expensive things, but we'll get some good mics. Although I think the audio has been just
I'm
fine.
really impressed with the audio quality on that thing, man. We've always used it. We've never had any real problems, other than the
Yeah.
times we've tried to plug it into like iPads and iPhones and stuff.
More so the
It works pretty
problem was
good.
just the freaking what was the recording thing that we used? That was the worst part.
Ringer, yeah. I'm
Old
so
ringer.
happy. I'm so relieved to not be on Ringer. No,
Yeah.
look, I mean, we gave them a lot of our money, and it was fine while it lasted. But this setup right now is way better. I'm liking it.
This really motivates me to want to do this because this is cool.
Yeah, this is next level stuff here. Yeah, as you can tell, we got the green screens going. Did not anticipate the see-through shirt. Obviously, we're rocking the ugly sweaters. Most of my sweater is green, which actually is kind of cool. But we
Well,
got the
they're
hidden
see-through.
pocket.
Good thing the Maxis one is just bright orange.
Dude, I want one of those. That is awesome.
I was so pumped on it.
I
I think
love it.
Chris is sending me a secret extra one because I'm going to do a YouTube video riding in one. So I need one to ruin.
Yeah, yeah. Is it
Yeah.
nice and toasty? Nice and windproof on the
Dude,
bike?
you know what's freaking toasty is my head. Between this beanie and the headphones on,
I know. I'm kind of
I'm
regretting the beanie right now.
I'm
You
burning
said
up.
beanie. I was like, oh, it's pretty chilly in here. I'm a little toasty.
You know what I
So
could
if I
do?
start sweating, that's why.
I thought I'd be
Uh,
good because it's usually cold in my. You're in your basement. Too. We're both in our
we're
basements, by the way,
basements, yeah,
folks.
yeah. Comfortable basements,
Hmm. I
basements.
hmm.
It's all
don't know
good.
what we're gonna talk about, but at least
No,
we're getting back into the swing of things.
we were just talking about what we were going to talk about, and there's really no shortage of something to talk about because I still feel as much as I talk to you and as involved as I am with you. I don't know what your plan is for Supercross, and I think part of that is because it's all been so ambiguous and up in the air, and we've already had a bunch of schedule changes and everything. But I don't know if you're training. I don't know what your plan is if you're riding. But what are you doing? Fill
I
us in.
was I was training pretty consistently actually. I was at the point where I was going to Tomahawk, let's call it 4 days a week. And I wasn't doing a ton of supercross riding, but I was on my supercross track 2 of those 4 days. I was on the turn track a ton. I was on the outdoor track. I was getting a lot of seat time. And then weather just crapped the bed. And the problem is this time of year when it gets as cold as it does, if it rains, you're done for 2 weeks. So we got snow. Sorry, we got rain, then we got snow, and it's been 2 weeks off the bike. So tomorrow, wait, 2 days until Christmas. The day after Christmas, I fly to Florida. I'm gonna train down there for Now you guys can see when I talk how much I move my hands and move around, by the way. I go down to Florida. I'm going to stay and train in Florida for.
Dude, I can't.
I'm trying to hold my hand
No,
still.
here, the green in your headphones make it look like you just have like this floating arc above your head, and then you're
It
just floating. Did not
kind of from.
anticipate. I mean, the green screen snafus. We'll
Okay,
work
so we
through
just
it.
need to remember. We just got to remember we can't wear green.
No, no green. No green.
Okay. So
Well,
then I'm just
remember
going
the
to
weather
stay
that
in Florida, I guess.
weathercaster? That's a common issue. You seen like the weathercaster, like she wore a green dress or something, and then she became just a meme, obviously meme. Um,
We should maybe we should start wearing green
we could be our own backgrounds. Yeah, yeah.
and just have floating heads doing a podcast.
So go ahead. You're going to Florida, which I
Going to
knew.
Florida. Yeah, and then I'm going to extend the trip if I feel I need it. So I'll see how I feel the first four. I think I'm training for 4 or 5 days straight. See how I feel. If I really, feel like I have to stay down there a few extra days, I'll do it. The only thing that stresses me out is, and I'm trying not to worry about it, but anytime I go on Instagram and just like start scrolling around, there is so many. We say this every year, but there's never been a year like this. And but there's random people that I keep seeing. It's like, oh, Brandon Hartranft, you're doing 450? Cool. All right. Just another fast guy to worry about. And then today I'm like, oh, Max Anstey? Great. Okay. It's just like the top 40 is going to be brutal.
Yeah,
Brutal.
you could say that again, man.
And I know when you get deeper into the season, people start getting hurt and it kind of thins out to sort of a normal point. Uh, but right now, it's going to be tough. But luckily, like, I'm in a situation where I always want to do well for myself, obviously, and for the team. But I'm just lucky to have so many avenues to take the pressure off to where it's been like this past couple of years, but the racing doesn't matter. But I do want to do well. So it's just
Yeah.
like,
How do you rate yourself like amongst everyone else right now? But more importantly, like where you felt in this point of other seasons. Like how are you feeling about just going into 21?
I would say I'm more prepared than I've been since 2017. The problem with 2017 is
That was
I
a big investment year for you.
yes, and I put a wicked amount of additional pressure for no real reason, and my mental game was a absolute disaster that year.
Mm.
I fell apart. What happened was I was so confident preseason, and when the season started and I wasn't where I wanted to be, like it was just a downward spiral of negative thoughts, and I would just like I couldn't get it turned around. I still rode well, and I made a lot of main events that year, but that that year is what caused me 18, 19, 20 to struggle to find that motivation. That combined with being ridiculously busy with a million other things and setting myself up to the point where I am now. But
Was that a function of how much you invested into it? And when I say investment, for those who don't know, I mean, you had arm pump surgery that year. That was the first year you built your own private Supercross track. You put a lot into your program that in when you weren't seeing the results as fast as you were expecting. Is that kind of what
I
set
think
that
it was
into
silly
motion?
of me to think that I spent 50 grand. I mean, between my Supercross track and arm pump surgery, I spent 50 grand, and I dedicated myself every single day. I thought I was a beast, especially right after I got arm pump surgery. Forget about it. I was for sure a beast. And then as the arm pump started to come back post surgery, and then the season started, and I think the biggest mistake there is I expected result right away.
Yeah.
And I think that would be my advice for anyone else, or if I were to do it over again, is if you're going to invest in yourself, give yourself at least a few years. Like I should have gone into that and been like, okay, I'm going to invest this money, all this time. I'm going to work my butt off, and we're going to do this for 3 years straight and see where it gets me. I did it. And then I started the season and I gave myself like one race
Mm.
because after the first race didn't go my way, I was like, oh man, maybe all this was for nothing. And it was just not a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be patient with that kind of stuff. I remember you going through that, and you were in such good physical condition also. Like, that was
Hmm.
probably your most fit that I've ever seen you.
Ever. Yeah. Yeah. Cause that was
Um,
right when I was gung ho about the whole cycling thing at that time too. Like
mhm,
that was the strongest I ever was on the bicycle. Um, yeah, that so it was frustrating to kind of throw that season away. And going into this year, my goal was eh, to give it 3 years, is what I said. So I'm going to give it till I'm 30.
okay,
And I'm going to put in as much time and effort as humanly possible. And somebody actually who's been helping me with this a lot is Jay at Rack Racing. I have Jay on WhatsApp, and I talk to Jay every single morning on WhatsApp. And he is my guide to staying on track with the racing,
sure,
because he understands that I have all the other things to worry about. And all of a sudden I fly out to this place and I'm gone for 3 days and it eats up training time. Then I come home and I miss a day because I'm trying to catch up on the computer and with emails. And next thing you know, a week of training is gone. So he's been kind of like the one in my ear every single day of like, okay, what are we doing today for Supercross?
right,
And he
yeah.
understands all the other stuff, but I've basically told him like, listen, you need to stay on me about the Supercross stuff because I don't want it to go to the wayside.
And he knows kind of what buttons to push. I mean, I've had so many great conversations with Jay, either about you or just kind of about life, and he has a knack for knowing where to look for kind of those gateways into helping you mentally.
Yeah,
Not
and
just you. I mean, he's had some riders under him who've recently had some pretty great success. So I mean, his track record is only getting better, and I just think it just goes to serve, which we've talked about so many times, like how powerful that mental aspect of this sport in particular is. And you could sell yourself really short without fine tuning that portion of it. Which if, I mean, if you're there and I had a conversation with Jay a couple weeks ago, and he said you guys were talking every day, and I was like, that's great. I mean, that's exactly what you need. Somebody
it's
in your
little
ear.
stuff. I mean, I it's not like he's telling me something every day that I don't know. I know all these things, but it's a constant reminder.
Sure.
And um
Well, I think people need that. You know, you take for granted what you and I find myself in this position all the time. It's like you sometimes take for granted how much more you can learn, how much how much growth you can have just in a day by doing small little things. And also you kind of you don't appreciate what you don't know. And it's like it really is almost like opening up a gateway that you might
it's
not have known was even there.
it's setting short-term goals for the day. It's resetting when things go wrong. It's having gratitude at the end of the day based on how your day went, and picking out the little silly things that would be like, oh yeah, duh. But people
Yeah.
don't do that. People go through their day and just like one thing can ruin their whole day. And it's like this has kind of always been my thought process. Like I've never had a bad day in my entire life. I've had really bad moments. I've never had an entire full bad day. I just don't believe that that exists. But Jay is like really, really good about keeping me on the straight and narrow when it comes to the racing stuff.
And how much success have you seen from kind of working with him on that day to day? I mean, obviously your primary focus in it is racing, but what have you noticed just day to day that you gotta tell people? Because I want to steer people in Jay's direction. I mean, between you and me, um, in the conversations I've had with him, in following his Instagram, he has something there. He has an essence that people can really benefit from. So I certainly want to help Jay out. I mean, this isn't any sort of sponsored plug at this point in time, but I think there's a huge benefit to
Yeah,
his
well,
program.
actually,
So
what he's offering right now is what he does with me. I'm pretty sure he's offering a monthly subscription to that to be able to have access to him every single day. What we could do is we're going to post this video on YouTube. We could just link his link below. And what he has is he's got a website set up where you click in, you watch a video where he asks you a question, and then all you have to do is respond back and answer his question. So it's actually a pretty interesting way to set up the conversation with him.
Yeah.
Um, I urge people to go do that because it is, I think I talked about it on my Instagram the other night. It's such an overlooked thing. And I'm 27 years old. I've been professional since I was 16. I like to think that I'm pretty intelligent for a motocross racer. Like I've always known that the mental game was important, and even me, I overlooked it all the time.
Hmm.
And people would be silly. The faster you get, the higher level you get to. Forget about riding. The further along you get in life, the higher up you're climbing in whatever job you're at, whatever, the more important that mental game is because the gap and the separator between individuals is smaller and smaller and smaller.
Right.
It's like the analogy of this the C class guys have it easy because they could make up a minute a lap. B riders can make up 15 seconds a lap. That's pretty easy. When you get to the top level, you're fighting for tenths, you're fighting for hundredths. That's where the mental game becomes that much even more important. Uh, and I wish I had known to unlock that earlier on. Like when I have a kid, if they decide to do whatever, golf, dirt bikes, uh, freaking ice skating, who cares? I'm like mental game will come first, especially if it's
Yeah.
in a sport that I don't know about. Like the mental side of things will 100% come first.
I think it's easy to build physical skill around the mental side for sure. It's a lot harder to fine tune the mental aspect later on in life. So if it's a skill you could develop earlier, I mean,
A hundred
absolutely,
percent. 100%.
absolutely.
So yeah, what we'll do for you guys is we'll link um Jay's link below, and then yeah, no commitment on your guys' end necessarily. Just click the link and respond to his question. And if you
Highly recommend doing it for sure.
yeah, especially at Jay's got it set at such a low price point that it makes a lot of sense. And it's truly like this wasn't intended to be a plug at all. But
No, it was unplanned, but I'm glad it went there because I mean, it's hugely valuable for sure.
yeah, and it brightens up my day even. Like we do voice chat on WhatsApp, and the messages we send each other sometimes are hysterical. So it's just like I use that time. It's the first thing I do when I get in the truck on the way to the track. He's the first person I talk to when I get up over the mountain on the way back home from the track and I get service
Hmm.
to do a little debrief. So yeah, it's awesome.
So obviously you've made a lot of progress on the mental side of things. You're on the bike, you're active with classes, you're making YouTube videos. How are you balancing everything? I feel like I'm busy and then I look at you and I'm like, damn, this kid is all over the place. He's got training here, classes here, picking up this lesson there, YouTube channel, full commitment, editing videos. Oh, you mean there's a secret. I'm not going to say it. You're going to release something coming out. You hinted at your Instagram. Like you got a lot going on, obviously. How are you balancing everything?
It's I feel like just like we talk about every year getting more stacked in the 450 class, every year I say I'm so busy. Nothing is compared to the last 4 months, let's call it. It
You got a lot going on.
Holy cow. Yeah, but luckily I've delegated a good amount to you, which has been nice. But other than that, yeah, I mean the YouTube thing is great, catching a lot of traction with it. It's just I'm nearing that point with the YouTube where I will have to start delegating all of that work as well. And I'm very close to being able to make that happen financially with like the you the income that YouTube is rolling in is actually
Hmm.
pretty good, and it'll be enough to be able to pay somebody to do it. But right now, doing my own videos, dude, it takes forever.
It's long. I
Well,
mean,
especially when you don't know what you're doing. Like I'm just like
I
cutting
know.
through these videos and trying to edit, and it takes me, I'm sure, 5 times longer than it should because I just simply don't know what I'm doing. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, just signed a really cool deal with Black Rifle. Can't necessarily talk specifics yet, but that's been taking up definitely a good chunk of my time just coordinating with Black Rifle guys, which I'm super excited about. And then the schools, the schools are getting to a point as well where I'm gonna have to delegate somebody full time to just kind of almost be like my is that a spider web? What's going on in here?
Careful,
To
buddy.
to be like my full time schedule organizer, like a just an assistant of some sort to be able to get stuff on my calendar and to coordinate my schedule because even just something silly like that is becoming tough. Where before it was like, oh yeah, I'll go do the school. Oh yeah, I'll go do this. But now it's getting to the point where I don't have time. I'm like so overbooked. My
Hmm.
my my one-on-one lessons are fully booked until the middle of April. So it's a great, great, great problem to have. But I am like right at that fork in the road where I have to start pulling the trigger on forking out some cash and hiring people to do certain things.
I can so totally see you like Devil Wears Prada. I don't even know what the character's name, Meryl Streep's character, having two assistants and they're just like completely strung out, trying to make you happy.
Well, so when I was at the Black Rifle House, at JT's house in Texas, there were a few YouTube creators there hanging out the night I was there, and they had each had an assistant that was with them, like running around frantically with an iPad, like following them from room to room, just jotting down ideas as they were giving them ideas, like answering phone calls. Like that's kind of what I need at this point. It
That
was
actually brings up a,
hilarious.
a,
Like
a
they were
good
just
a
walking
good
around with an
question.
iPad. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's like an evolution for people who get busy in in watching you and we've we've had our share of hiatuses with the podcast. Hopefully, this is the dawn of a new beginning with the video. But even in just managing the little tiny podcast that we have and
Right.
editing that stuff, I people who say, "Oh yeah, YouTube, that I wish I could do that," or "It's such an easy job. Why do they get so much money?" It is a lot of work, and if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're kind of learning as you go, people don't appreciate how much time goes into not only like the content, but figuring out what are you going to make for content,
Right. The creative aspect of it as well. And then
the editing,
also
the
investing
management of it all.
investing back into the equipment. Like it's been a whirl. The past few months have been a whirlwind, and it's my own doing. But
It,
I
it is
think
a
it,
job. I mean, make no mistake about it. Like
yeah,
people who look at like these influencers in YouTube in particular, who just think like they're on easy street sailing through like a day. Yeah, they have a lot different schedule than a typical 9 to 5, but there's no mistake about it. I mean, you are working a job. You are creating a business.
yeah. And but I'm happy to be doing it because I see it as
Don't
the
mind me as I
future.
pull off these little hairs I'm seeing on my microphone.
I see it as being the future for whatever it is that I'm going to be doing. Like it is just created such an avenue. It's made my life so easy in some ways. It's made my life difficult in ways that we just talked about, but easy in the sense that I can post a YouTube video in the intro while I'm just briefing everybody on what the video is going to be about. I could be like, "Hey guys, so I have a class coming up uh next month in Texas, January whatever. Go to sign up at ajcatanzaro.com." The class sells out
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
from that.
that leverage is amazing.
And what's crazy is that I forget that I do it. And so first of all, like when I edit the video, I put it out and I schedule it. So typically, if I'm doing well, I have about 3 videos scheduled out in the future. So I'm basically already into the next week. So when these videos are releasing every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 7:30 in the morning, I forget what they are and what's in the content in the video. So all of a sudden, my phone just starts going berserk, like people signing up. I'm like, what's going on? I haven't even announced this class yet, or so I think. And there's been a couple that have sold out in 24 hours just from that 10-second YouTube plug. It's like, holy crap.
So you find that the engagement is way higher with YouTube because I mean you
YouTube
have
light years beyond. My Instagram's been pretty good the last month or so. I've kind of figured some things
mhm.
out, but my engagement on YouTube is nothing's even close.
Why do you think that is? Because I mean, you have at this point you have double the followers on Instagram
Yeah,
than
exactly double.
subscribers on YouTube. But the
Mhm.
the Instagram audience seems to be more invested, more engaged, genuinely like more keen to act on what you're telling them. Why do you think that is?
I think they just invest in you more as a human being, especially if you can get on a consistent schedule of videos. Like I've been really adamant about 3 videos a week and sticking to that, even if the content varies. Like the last week off the bike, I've had a video of just Allie and I kind of talking about what's going on with the home and hanging out with Bear and stuff like that. And while it might be boring to some people, it's our life. And I think it's important to build the channel, to build viewers' relationship with me, right? And then when there's a call to action or anything for a product, they not only want to support me and my ventures and what I'm doing, but they trust me. So if
Mhm.
I say that this is a good thing to do or this, like these people will listen to what I say. And I think Instagram has been watered down a little bit with all of like the influencers that I just don't think people the call to
But you,
action
you
stuff
lose a
people like.
little you lose a little bit of the authenticity factor, I think, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, because everybody just seems like every single thing is a plug, and not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it does water it down, like you said. I mean, it
And
there's
when it's
so many
not a
people doing
plug,
everything.
it's a highlight clip of like amazing
Plugs.
things that you're doing or plugs. Where
It's not
you
a plug. It's a highlight. It's a highlight reel of all
where
your plugs.
YouTube is the good, it's the bad. It's just me, and that's what
So,
when I got the
bef-
feedback from the last videos, it was like, listen, this is my. I'm just gonna post about my life, you know.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure Bravo will pick you up pretty soon.
Well,
You
yeah, they ought to based
need
on
kids, dude.
our
If you had
financial
kids, like
success.
they would definitely have a reality show by now. You need to be a little more strung out. You're like far too even keeled right now. We need a little like stress in your life that you could see as the audience because you're just like
Yeah,
just coasting through. Like you always like that's one of your strong points. You're just kind of just steady as she goes all the time.
yeah,
But
yeah. I guess I'm pretty good at that. Like I've had some really terrible things happen as far as like most people would really. I think you and I have talked about this. Like most people would freak out in certain situations. I'm just like, oh
mhm,
yeah, well, you
yeah,
know, I missed my flight, or like I last year I showed up to Anaheim one, and I hadn't had my physical done yet. So like you can't
that
race.
was that last year or 2 years ago?
I did it
Pretty
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row you did that.
Yeah. So,
Did you do it this year? Are they
uh,
doing physicals this year?
yes, and I actually have a
Okay.
predicament this year as well because I couldn't get
Oh
in
boy,
touch with my primary care until just recently. So I have an appointment for January 8th, and I've already reached
that's
out
kind of close.
with I reached out to the AMA, and they're like, "Oh, could you get anything sooner than that?" I'm like, "No, that's what we got."
Did you do like what do they do for those physicals for AMA? Is it just like a checkup, or do they do like
It's
blood panel and full
uh
physical and
yeah, it's supposed to be the full deal. Like it's even got like an EKG on there that you're supposed to get. I don't know if that's
mm,
once every few years.
okay.
Concussion test once every 2 years, like a baseline concussion test, which is separate from your physical. So I'm up to date on that, which is nice. Yeah, other than that, it's just basic physical, really.
Mm,
They don't like test you for things. They do random tests for performance enhancing stuff throughout the season.
right.
If it, you don't know who they're going to test, but
Hmm.
I've never been tested, so obviously I'm cheating.
Well, everybody knows who was tested.
Yeah, I'm surprised
um,
I haven't actually. I know a lot of privateers that have.
yeah, we've talked about that so much. Um, I don't know where we were going, but I do have a question. Now that you've kind of really started to develop the YouTube channel, I think you're really just a few subscribers away from calling out a super serious fighter and getting an exhibition fight somewhere.
Well, you know what's funny is we had talked about that when there was some drama going on a couple of years ago, like jokingly. Uh, oh, I totally would. Now I don't.
Oh, stop! Don't even
My
no. Don't talk some shit. Don't talk some shit.
I'm
No,
I'm a
I
good
know you don't
fighter.
have like any individual person you're about to call out.
Oh
That's
no, no,
fine.
no.
But you, I've never seen you fight. I've never even seen you get mad. But yet all the time you're like, oh, if we're in person, I would. Yeah, you wouldn't say that to me.
No, no, no. Yeah, no, but I don't mean that in a fighting type of way. I mean that is like
It's just like a human to another human. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, when I type that to somebody, everyone always assumes that it's like, oh, you wouldn't fight me. No, no, no. Like when I say like, come say that to my face, I just mean like you wouldn't have the courage to say that to another human's face because you're just
Or
hiding.
not even courage. I don't think people would be shitty enough to like put down
Right.
somebody directly for no reason
Yeah, and it's
other
not
than
because
like
I think
clout.
that you're afraid of me. It's just
Yeah.
like I think that you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I do. But
that's how
I like poking the bear a little bit because it is funny because every single person takes it as you want to fight them.
I
Everybody.
know, I know. I gotta find a new way to word that because I don't mean for it to come off that way. It just
I know
like
you
when you
don't, but
it
everybody
just
wants to fight you. Or no, I shouldn't say. You know what I mean?
well, let them
Anytime there's a
fight me.
little
Listen,
tiff anywhere, it's like, oh, anytime, anywhere, bro. Let's go. But no, I think you should start setting up some fights. I mean, who would you
I would
fight?
be.
Who would you fight? Let's get some controversy going right
The
now.
only thing that I'd be careful of is
Don't say anybody for real. But I
oh
mean,
no
if
no
you were to,
I'm not
if
gonna
you
I
okay, so pick somebody like I think this is going to be a legit thing. I mean Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather like
insane
3 months
and
ago. If anybody said that, they would have called you an idiot.
insane and I really I would not be surprised if the Jake Paul Conor McGregor thing
I would be
happens.
shocked if that happens. Just because of what Dana White has said, and like the whole ecosystem around that is just I think a little different. But I
Yeah,
mean,
but I don't think
anything could
McGregor cares
happen.
about that. I think
Money
McGregor
talks, right?
right
Money talks.
and they said 55 million. So
But no, who
hey,
would you call out? Who would you want to fight? It doesn't have to be a fighter necessarily, but some kind of big.
oh, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. The only thing I'd be careful of is I'd be very confident in my fighting skills if I could train even for just a few weeks because I'm pretty strong for how light I am. But I'd
Yeah,
want to fight
good power to
somebody.
strength ratio,
I'd want to fight
power to weight.
somebody, you know, in my weight class or at least close to it. I wouldn't go and fight
Well,
somebody that's
yeah,
190
obviously you're not going to
pounds.
fight Weston Pike.
But I would fight literally anybody at my weight class or even 5, 10, 15 pounds up and be pretty confident in
Have you been
myself.
in a fight before?
I wouldn't call it a fight. I've been in like I
A
punched
scuffle?
somebody.
You did.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
Allie, right? No, just kidding. Oh my God, it's fucked. No.
um yeah, I punched somebody when I was
4? That doesn't count.
no, I was old enough. Was I in high school yet? Yeah, I was in high school. I was probably in ninth grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you have some emotion in there.
Yeah,
I've seen you throw a bike.
it was a
That's
good
about as
punch
riled
too.
up
Like
as I've seen.
I'm a
Oh
one hit
yeah.
wonder. One punch and he went right to the ground. Not even kidding.
Yikes. Oh
And
man.
his twin brother, I'm
So
not going to
that's
go
a
into
hint.
more detail than
That's a
that.
hint.
His twin brother was right next to him and just sat there and just stared, like
Didn't
didn't
do
do
shit.
anything. No,
Yeah. Yikes.
like
What was it about?
that's how good of a punch it was. We just had pure hatred towards each other, and I don't know why. Um, I don't know why it started because I'm pretty sure we were friends at one point. They were like the high school jocks that were
Okay.
kind of popular and good at sports. And then I was like, I think they hated me because I was even like people liked me more than they liked them. And I wasn't your typical, like, I
Mhm.
didn't play the team sports, although I was good at them. I was just this motocross kid that they're like, who the F is this guy? And that's probably where that started. And then it turns into this. Let me just tell this story because
I need to hear it now.
so at the time, those two twins were, and I don't know what they're up to nowadays. I don't have anything against them now if they're listening, if they happen to be listening.
I'm sure they've devoted their entire lives since to like following your every move, waiting
Yeah,
for the direct right
maybe
time to
I wish them the best.
retaliate.
At the time, those were the only two people on the planet that I hated. Like if I could have killed anybody, it would have been them. And it was my first girlfriend ever. And at the time, picture 8th grade, 9th grade, like
Sure.
just an emotional, insecure mess about everything, and had reason to be. My first girlfriend was like, when you're that young, like, I don't know, you don't know what you're doing. She didn't know what she was doing. She was a little shady, or a lot shady back then. Um, I was at MTF the first year I got there, training facility in Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and staying in my friend Connor's motorhome. And I'll never forget this. It was like the craziest, most shocking thing that I've ever had happen to me. I was on Facebook on the computer, and all of a sudden I get a message from one of the brothers, and it says, "Hey, just I wanted to kind of send you a message because I've actually kind of feel bad about this, and um so and so and I have been talking."
Oh.
And I was like, "Dude, yeah, right." Like, I
Oh.
didn't even like think that it was
Oh.
possibly a thing,
Oh
because it was
boy.
very clear that everyone knew that we hated each other, especially her. And I was like, "Ah, yeah, right." And he goes, F it, dot, dot, dot. I'm like, ah, F it. What does that mean? All of a
What?
sudden, posts, news on the news feed just start showing up of screenshots of webcam of them kissing and like hugging each other, and all this stuff just
What?
start popping up for everybody to see. And can you imagine little AJ, eighth grade, sitting in a motorhome, all 14 years old, all by myself in Georgia, and all of a sudden I'm just like, my world like shattered.
Oh my God, dude.
And as all like this is just starts popping up, I get a call
That's
from
ruthless.
my girlfriend at the time. Like, she calls me immediately, bawling her eyes out. And I can't remember what the heck she said, but it was just like, could you imagine? I thought she would never
Dude,
do
that's
anything ever.
traumatic.
And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden that pops up, and I was just, it was actually like very traumatic at the time.
Yeah. So this was before the fight. This is why you fought, or this was after the fight.
I want to say that was after the fight.
Oh God.
So that was when it was very obvious that like
So you punched the guy, but you really just punched yourself.
yeah, man, of anybody
Damn.
that she could have ever cheated on me with, that would have been the
That's
one.
so brutal.
That was a rough go. That
That
was
sucks, man. Isn't it funny how those like little heartbreaks when you're a kid, like they stay with you, even though like clearly completely over them, you recognize like you're young, it doesn't matter at all. But like for some reason, it's like you can recall that. You're gonna recall that to the day
oh,
you
because
die.
it was earth shattering at the time. Like,
Yeah,
that was, oh my God, that was great. Just thinking about the way I felt when that happened was like unbelievable.
dude. Yeah, that's brutal. I'm sorry to
Probably
hear.
the most upset I'd ever been about it, or current to date. Because luckily, like, knock on wood, I you know I haven't really experienced a whole lot of tragedy in my life. Like that.
Hmm.
That's probably been one of the saddest things I've experienced.
That's brutal. See, no, I didn't realize that I was gonna put like on a psychiatrist hat here. Psychologist hat. Talk you through it on the couch, man. You want to lay down?
Yeah, and that
Um,
did actually screw me up for
yeah, of course that
a
would.
few additional
That's
years,
a
because
tough age. Yeah, it's a tough age for anything like that to happen.
yeah,
Kind
because
of
my
first love
second
situation.
after that,
That's
like my
shitty.
my second girlfriend, I was ridiculously insecure because of that,
Of course.
and
Yeah.
for no
Well, how
reason
couldn't you
of
be?
her own, but it just because of, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That sucks, man. We've all been there
But it's a
somewhere.
good story. It's definitely a great
That's a great
story.
story. So
And
that's
I'm
that's your
sure I
one
could have
punch.
I'm sure I
I
could have
mean,
told that story a lot better.
so either he deserved the punch or you deserved to get cheated on. I don't know which one it was. I
So
mean, it
maybe,
really depends on the order there, right?
yeah. Yeah, I
Damn.
wish I could remember what it was that we hated each other for. Like, what
Now, is this something you can consult the local boys on the group chat on?
I
Can
bet
you?
you I could. Dom would probably know.
Yeah, you need some
Um,
clarification. I think we need to figure this out.
yeah, because I can't remember. We would play at this kid Adam Hunt's house down the street, and he
Oh,
had
now we're
this.
name dropping. Careful.
Yeah, because this is a good thing.
Okay.
I mean, I could
Okay.
probably name drop the other people too, because it's like,
No, don't.
not don't.
I was
Uh,
involved in exactly one podcast where a name was mentioned, and I don't want a part of that anymore.
But you weren't in that podcast.
I know, but somehow I got involved.
Oh, okay. So we would play football out front of, like, it was supposed to be touch, but it was never touch football. It was always freaking tackle football.
Of
So
course. Yeah.
I think that's probably what started some of the animosity, is like we would get into it there.
hmm
But other than that, I can't really think of anything.
For some reason, I just now remembered that my screen is completely see-through. Like
I'm gonna wear
my nipples
a bright green
are
shirt next
glowing.
episode.
Wait, where are my nipples?
I'm really excited to start doing this on a weekly basis. I feel like it's so much more enjoyable to talk
So
to
much
you,
more. Yeah.
being able to see you.
We should make it a thing where we just wear stupid outfits every time. It doesn't have
That's
to be
actually
ugly
that's a
sweat.
good idea.
No, man, I'm pretty pumped because we have some individuals who have at least mentioned that they would be interested in joining us, which would be pretty sick.
Yeah,
So I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but
I wonder what that individual, because he just recently did a podcast with somebody else that's also pretty famous, and his name starts with an S and ends with an O. Do you know who I'm referring to?
I do. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to put the cart before the horse here.
How did he do that on his end? Was that a Zoom probably?
I don't know.
That's
Dude,
what
the
I
one
was
you
curious
sent me
about.
the other day with Aubrey, right? Audrey. What's the one you sent me the other day with Matt McConaughey?
Oh, I forget the other
Podcast.
guy's name.
Yeah, so did I.
How did they do it?
Because
really McConaughey's good. But McConaughey's visual looked like garbage. But the
he was on Zoom with just no equipment, just the laptop.
Right.
But the other guy's setup was very legit.
Oh, unreal. Good.
Yeah, that looks real good. Yeah. So how's things, man? I mean, COVID's still wreaking havoc. Every time we get on here, I feel like we have to mention COVID somehow. But Christmas, I mean, you guys are going where?
Here, actually.
You're staying here.
My mom flies in, and Mikey fly in tomorrow.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
So we're gonna do Christmas here.
Okay.
Show them the new house, which will be exciting. And what about you guys? Staying home?
Yeah, dude. Everybody's unfortunately everybody's in Florida. So, and not that we wouldn't go, but we just when coming back. I mean, at least in Connecticut, we're so restrictive and.
So is it just you, the wife, and Sawyer, and that's it?
My mom and dad are the only ones here. Yeah, my brother's in Oregon. He can't come back. And everybody else is down in Florida, basically.
I feel bad because we would always do Christmas Eve at my Uncle Scott's house with my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
And that, like, almost kind of since I've moved to Virginia, I don't know if it's coincidence, but that whole thing is kind of like falling apart. It's sad to see, what's the word I'm looking for? Not superstitions, something that you do consistently from year to year. Traditions.
Okay.
It's sad to see like a year-to-year tradition just kind of disappear. Like there was so many good times.
That's a depressing thing with growing up, man. Real life sucks. I mean, it really does. You don't realize how amazing it is to be a kid, especially around Christmas time.
Oh, I know.
Now it's just like a bunch of fucking stressful headaches.
So is it not more exciting for you now that you're like?
Oh, it definitely is. But I mean, this year it is.
The lead up to is stressful.
A little bit. Yeah, it is. I mean, because you feel pressure as a parent. You feel pressure to make it special. I mean, my little guy's only 2.5. He's kind of still at the age where he's really excited about it. Like he knows, but he won't remember it.
Yeah, I feel like ages 4 to probably 8 or 9 would be like real high pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, it is still like unfortunately, Jen lost her grandfather 2 weeks ago, and so it's one of those COVID tales. Can't see him, can't go down, can't be with family, and I mean, it just there's a weight this year, and I know a lot of people out there are in the same position, and there's just a weight on everything that everybody's over it, and it's good that the vaccine is here now and starting to roll out, but God only knows. I mean, who's going to take it, how it's going to roll out, how effective it's going to be. And it's still, the light's at the end of the tunnel, but it's a long fucking tunnel.
Yeah, at least the light is there now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! For a while there, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, it was like, when the heck is this ever gonna end? Like the
dude.
I mean, just a few podcasts ago, which would have been forever
Remember the
ago.
one? Remember the podcast we did with Matt, and we were still fully planning. And when was that? April or May? We were still fully planning on going to Whistler in August. That was not. We had a little bit of apprehension, maybe to get canceled, but
I'm still so
there's
butthurt about
no
that.
way. Oh, dude, you're telling me. I miss riding my bike so bad. Now there's snow everywhere.
Do you think that it would be realistic for this August?
I freaking hope so. I really do.
Because I would plan that in a heartbeat.
I think
But
a
you
lot. I think
obviously I would. But
the tell is going to be how all the ski areas do over the winter, and I think it being Canada and us having to cross the border, I think that is a little bit of a problem as of right now. But I mean, I think ski areas are doing pretty well. There's a lot of restrictions. I mean, it kind of sucks, especially here in the Northeast. But even out west, I mean, Colorado, Utah, every in um, California, they're all doing reservation. You need a reservation and social distance on the
oh, really?
mountain, whatever the hell that means.
Don't ski too close to somebody.
Well, it's really about being the lifts and gondolas and bubble chairs and all that stuff. But I mean, I freaking hope that by next summer it's going to be better. Uh,
Oh,
the,
I'd
the
be so
problem is going to be the problem is going to be go like the Canada U.S. border.
right,
And
right.
I think the NHL I know in particular because they were supposed to be starting up the season here in January as well. They're having an issue with Canada and in the U.S. And that's just one small example. So I mean, I hope that as the vaccine rolls out and everything starts kind of getting back to quote unquote normal, But
Yeah, I hope so
it,
too for my situation because I'm kind of tentatively planning like a with this whole COVID thing, probably going to be late summer, fall time, like a European tour for these
mm,
classes, which I would have done this year with the momentum that I had going, but it just
yeah. Well, I mean, it's obviously going to really depend on how it all shakes out, right? I mean, especially with freaking Europe kind of going back down on the lockdowns with the new COVID strain and all that stuff. But
mm, well,
that's brutal. So back to Supercross. There's been a lot of shakeups since they announced that everything was coming back and they announced the first schedule. We've gone through no less than what three major changes so far with schedule, with venues, all that stuff. As of right now, first three rounds Houston, right?
yep. Yeah, as of
With
right now, I
spectators right
think
now.
we're pretty locked in. I,
How do you envision it going? And more importantly, how are you preparing to deal with the change? I mean, because you didn't ride the second half of Supercross last year. You opted not to.
no, think about it. My last gate drop was Daytona in March.
Was it
By the time,
Daytona? That was the last one.
yeah, by the time I race again, it'll have been 10 months, almost 11 months since my last gate drop.
Is that the longest you've ever been?
Yeah, yep.
No, yeah, because you rode right after your ACL. You rode the end of that season, didn't you?
Yeah, I finished the season with torn ACL. I got surgery and then I was off the bike only for 6 months then. Oh, I probably went a while without a gate drop then as well. Um,
10
it's
months. All right. So how having not didn't do the back to back races last year, like the second
no,
half of
I'm
the season.
excited for that.
You want that? You're
I
an
think that'll
advocate of that.
help me. Yeah, for me personally, for sure. Like I don't, and I think for the other riders, I don't think safety is going to be a concern. People getting tired, doing
Hmm.
Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday is enough
That's
time.
enough recovery, I think.
Yeah,
And I think for you, you're gonna
especially
race yourself into shape faster.
100%, and
Yeah.
get more comfortable faster, build confidence a little bit quicker, and also that'll be at the same venue. So Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, all it's going to do is make life, I would think, easier because it's eliminating travel.
The rigs don't have to move, right? They set up camp for the week.
No, you just set up base in, let's say, fly into Houston Friday, January 16th, and you're there until the 24th or whatever the following Sunday is.
Hmm.
Now, my schedule is going to be insane. because
Yeah, well, you bite off more than you could chew,
yeah,
and somehow you manage to chew it or
dude,
swallow it or whatever.
listen to this. I race Saturday. I teach Sunday. I teach Monday. I race Tuesday. I have a class on Wednesday, and then I race again on Saturday.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know
gonna
how
be
I'm going to do
tired.
it. And that's not just like teaching for an hour. That is a 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. all day class
Yep.
for 3 of those days that I'm not racing in that week. Dude, it's
So
exciting
do you
because again, it's
now? Are
like,
you worried about that at all, or do you think that that's? I mean, you're because at your classes, you're generally on the bike at least at some point of the day. You're are you going to be focusing on putting in actual laps on your actual bike? 'Cause it's not very often that you have your actual bike at the classes. Do you plan on bringing your bike to these ones, seeing as how
that's a
you're
good
at the
question.
venue?
Haven't even really thought about that. Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Um, the only thing is, dude, when you have Supercross suspension on a bike, it's very
that's
difficult to
true.
ride it on. Like, yeah, you got to be careful on what type of track you're riding it on. But I would like to. At the very least, though, I'll at least be getting seat time on somebody else's bike at the class.
Mm,
And the 3 races a week will just keep me sharp because even if I don't race until the next event, it's only been 3 days since the previous race. So I'll be able to like really race my way into shape, I would think, super quick. The biggest concern for me is the schools wear me out, especially when I have back-to-back days of doing the classes. I can get pretty drained. So I just got to be careful that like I need to make sure I'm getting proper sleep and hydrating and eating properly and the whole
yeah,
deal.
nutrition's going to
Because
be
I could get
key.
behind the 8 ball easily on that one.
Do you have a plan for that?
As far as what?
As
Nutrition
far
and
as yeah, just maintaining while you're out on these extended trips, whether that be because like you said, I mean, you're going to be at classes for a good portion of the days in between. You have a plan that you're going to stick to or try to stick to for being on the bike, being on the bicycle, cardio, any like what are
no,
your
I don't, dude. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be more so like the days that or the hours that I have to relax. I'm gonna try to just relax. So
yeah.
I don't want to overwork myself. I think that's gonna be my biggest thing is I don't think I'm gonna be in a situation where I'm like finding myself, oh, like I should probably hop on a bicycle and go for a spin, or oh, I should probably go for a run. I think I'm gonna be more so in situations like, holy crap, I gotta take a nap and try to like rest a little bit. I don't know, but
Do
we'll
you
see. I'm gonna have a lot of help. I'll have uh Cameron from 6 5 Films, like full-time film guy, so he'll be there helping. My mechanic will be there full time. I'll have uh my mechanic from last year, Mackenzie, probably fly into some races and lend a helping hand. So I'm gonna have, like I always do, I'm gonna have an entourage of people around me to just kind of like help with whatever the heck.
that's good.
Does my
Do
audio
you
sound okay, or am I talking too quiet?
No, it sounds fine for me. How about mine?
Great.
We're gonna see. This is gonna be a test of all this
Yeah,
new equipment. I
curious.
mean,
It
certainly
looks good.
willing to.
Do you think
Yeah,
it'll
it looks better.
audio should keep the same on YouTube, right?
I would think so. Yeah, yeah.
Wonder how
We'll
long it'll
see.
take to upload.
It's gonna take forever to render this for sure, but it's fine. I've really. I mean, this is a really good laptop, and I feel like we're gonna really hit the limit of a laptop pretty quickly here.
What is memory an issue or a factor for you, or no?
I'm not even gonna pretend to know as much about that as I would need to answer it. Right?
Okay,
I
because
think
this was an
probably. I mean,
issue.
this is a really. I mean, this is a very top of the line MacBook Pro. Having said that, it's just a MacBook Pro, and
What's
it's
your storage? What's your storage on it?
2 TB.
Oh,
That's
just on the internal hard drive?
yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
This thing was this absolutely spec the complete Macs that they were making MacBook Pros a couple of years ago.
You know, you could have saved yourself probably a lot of money by just getting an external hard drive. Or did you not want to
Yeah.
do that? Because I just bought a
Um,
sick one. It's called a G Technology or whatever
it,
for like,
it was, but it wasn't like I went out searching for this Mac and I was like, you know what? I really need 2 more terabyte or a 1 more terabyte. It just the way that this configured, that's how it came.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
because dude, I had a major issue when I first started editing these videos. I didn't know how to export them properly, so I was exporting them in like ProRes, whatever that means. So for let's say a 14 minute video, for example, it would be 145 gigabytes
Yeah.
for the one video. So even on my Mac desktop upstairs that has 1 or 2 terabytes on it, I filled that computer up in like 6 videos. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Dude, do you ever see a couple gymkhanas ago, Ken Block, I think it was like the first time that they used the 4K GoPro. He posted a picture of all of the computers and servers that he was using to render the video.
Uh-huh.
I wish I could find it and show you right now. It would take me forever to find. But dude, it was like, 20 computer towers deep, all linked to render the video of Gymkhana. It was such a stupid amount of power to do that.
Jeez.
But you can imagine, like, think about all of the footage that they capture on all of those GoPros. They're
Yeah,
freaking everywhere, in the car, out of the car, a million all over the place.
you're also
All the
not
legit cameras.
dumbing it down specifically for YouTube at that point either. They're probably exporting it the highest possible resolution. So thankfully Cameron at 6.5 Films has helped like with all of that. So anytime, dude, for even now, like I'm still obviously learning, but it was like I would problem solve one issue and then another crazy issue would arise. It was one thing after another, but he's helped me through all of it. So the problem was I was exporting in like ProRes off of Final Cut Pro, where all I had to do was go into the settings and like compress it into a
Compress it.
H text H something, and it automatically made the video from 145 gigabytes to 14. But you still get 4K.
Yeah.
I mean, on YouTube, you will not notice the difference. I don't know at what point you would notice a difference. Um, but dude, it renders so much quicker. It processes onto YouTube in 2 minutes. It saves my computer a bunch of space, but getting that external hard drive is sick because I just throw everything onto that. And then even if I'm halfway through editing a video, I just yank that out, could swap computers, put it on my desktop, put it on my
Yeah.
laptop.
That is, man.
It's pretty
I
cool.
do have an external. I have a couple, but this just so happened to all work out this way. So, eh.
Mm. Yeah, because dude,
Um,
this laptop, I bought this last year. So it's like a brand new MacBook Pro, but I
yeah,
must have got like the freaking cheapest one, apparently. It's only
probably.
128 gigabytes.
Well, real video editors and like definitely gamers will relate to this. Like, it is just. I mean, at one point you were like, holy, like MacBook was the holy grail. Like, you go back like 2010, 11. I feel like the MacBook Pro was the thing to get. Now, especially with like gaming and stuff, it's like, oh, a MacBook, like, ew. And this is kind of like the evolution of everything. But back to my original point, I'm I mean, this thing's screaming hot. The fan is going.
Do
I have
you think mine's
something in
doing all
every
right?
USB port.
Yeah, my
Um,
computer's a little hot.
Not even USB-C ports. Which, you know what? Fucking Apple, right? I pick up this thing today, right? You got this, right? You're in the Apple everything fanboy army.
Of course.
Yeah. So we knew that the different they're not going to include a charging brick. Okay.
Yeah,
We knew
which
that
is kind of a bummer. You could always use those.
bro, it's one thing to take the charging brick out and give you the same cord because no, I have a freaking million blocks at my house. It's another thing to say we're going to give you no charging brick and a different cable that you can't use with the fucking MacBook cable or the charger because it'll fry the battery. So now I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just going to do it the old fashioned way. I
Hang on a
have
second.
chargers.
What do you mean? The
So
Lightning USB or whatever it's called to
the USB-C
USB-C?
to the lightning port, you can't you don't have a USB-C brick just laying around unless you're using your MacBook one, right? Are you using your MacBook one? I mean, this doesn't really matter because I'm using my like inductive charger magnet thing, but the cable that came with your iPhone,
Yeah.
the new one,
Okay.
you have to plug it into a new USB-C
You
wall
know,
unit.
I don't even know how do I charge my phone?
Oh God, such an
Oh
age
man,
difference.
this is bad. Uh, you, uh, I
You're
don't know.
probably just using your old charger, which is totally fine.
Okay,
But
it is. I
my
must be.
point is to like get the full experience of fast charging and everything. You need a new charging brick, or
Oh,
you
it'll
have
charge faster?
yeah, you get 50% charge in 30 minutes, like 0 to 50 in 30 minutes. So you
Oh,
charge your full thing in an hour, which
I had one of those
but
little things that you just plop it on and it charges, but it burnt out.
um yeah, so but I mean this thing's pretty cool. I mean,
Takes great pictures. That's the best thing I
phenomenal
like about
pictures.
this phone.
It's kind of why I
Me-
got it.
Dude, even the best thing is low light. So like when
Oh,
take a
for
photo
sure.
right now, when
You
you
should
take,
take a photo right now. We should take a photo of each other taking a photo and then post it on Instagram. Want me
but
to? This looks pretty cool.
it instantly color
Yeah, I
edits
know. It
itself.
is. It's super like look at how good that looks.
Nice studio lights.
Yeah, you like those? Those are dope. Um no, but it does take good pictures, kind of why I got it. I wanted it for Christmas and the little guy and everything.
Hmm.
Um I had another dirt bike related question for you and I forgot. Shit. So, I don't know how public this is, but I'll throw you under the bus. I don't give a crap.
Okay.
Your leg is broken,
Oh yeah,
or or
my leg
or
is
is it?
great right now, by the way.
Oh, okay, all right. So
Although
your leg is better.
yeah, I wouldn't say it's 100% better. There's definitely something wrong with it, and
Okay.
probably still is wrong with it. Like I have you heard of F45?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, do you have them in
There's
Do you
one
have one
right
in
down the street
Glasgow?
from my house. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
I'd recommend. Is it open?
I don't know actually.
It's cool.
I want to say yes because a lot of the stuff is, but go ahead.
I've been doing them with Allie,
Yeah.
and the last 5 days, and I was doing like box jumps and stuff with it today, and my whole right shin is completely numb again. So
Numb. Hmm.
totally numb. Like I
So you
can't
had a
feel my
little
shin
accident. I
bone
mean,
at
for
all.
those people who don't know, you had a little goof
Yeah.
at
Oh,
a
we should
clinic.
probably preface this, huh? Yeah. A little embarrassing, actually. I was at a class in Connecticut, and I wasn't demonstrating the drill. I had already demonstrated it, and then the class was split into two groups. I went out there with group one and was just sessioning the section, which was straight away into like a braking zone into a bull turn. But the way it was designed is there was just a wall of dirt on the side. And as you were in your braking zone, it all kind of faded into the wall. So I was on somebody else's YZ450. I came down, hit the brakes, and I was already riding very close to the wall, but it just kind of pitched me a little bit closer. And then it just like sucked me in. And when it sucked me
Hmm.
in, I was probably going 45 miles an hour. I was going fast. I hit this wall, which might as well have been cement, and then just got wedged against it for probably 100 feet. And at that point, I couldn't steer the bike away. I was just like steering almost more and more into the wall. And my leg was just crushed in between the bike. So I didn't even fall. I just basically like tipped the bike over, laid down, and then immediately I knew something was really wrong. So I laid on the inside berm and put my leg up on the berm just to elevate it because I knew it was going to start throbbing right away, and just laid there. And so the poor class is just sitting there like, oh, well, what do we do? Our instructor just freaking mangled himself. And when I did it, I thought that I tore my ACL, broke my leg, the whole deal. I ended up teaching. We took an early lunch because I'm like, don't bring me to the hospital. Don't call an ambulance. Like, just wait. We'll take an early lunch. So we took an hour, and then I took like a prescription ibuprofen or something. And I'm like, you know what? There happened to be crutches at the shop at this track. So I just grabbed the crutches. Somebody had a quad. So I crutched my way to the quad and I just quadded around the rest of the day. Finished teaching the class the rest of the day because I didn't want people to like have
Of
to leave.
course.
I just felt
Yeah.
bad. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I probably hairline fractured. I mean, I would say 90% sure that I hairline fractured my tibia would be the
Tib
front
fib.
shin bone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, freaking hurt. Probably the most painful, other than the ACL, because my ACL was bad. Probably
Hmm.
the most painful thing that I've done.
That's
But
brutal. But
better now.
hey, guess what? That's a perfect segue because you found a little
Ooh.
relief into
Haha.
our new sponsor.
Holy crap. Yes, I
Uh,
did.
yeah. So, guys, and this is absolutely no lie. The Alias Sport has, which some of you might have recognized them from Alias, the gear company, whether you know it or not, have recently transitioned to a CBD company, producing a pain balm that is exceptional. And AJ and I are both CBD users, advocates. We like the oils. I love CBD oil. I use it every single day. You are a user of CBD products,
I thought you were going
and
to say
also
something
perhaps
else.
some other products.
Oh, man.
Um, but no, I mean this pain balm is legit, and it's you rub it on like a balm, an ointment, however you want to describe it, and it has like an unbelievable relieving property to it. It's anti-inflammatory, all the benefits of CBD that you get with any CBD product. It's in this awesome balm you just rub on anything, and you've gotten a lot of relief. I mean, I've checked in on you a couple times after you started using this stuff, and you really love it.
Dude, coincidentally and luckily, we kind of merged this deal right when I got hurt. So the product arrived like right as I got hurt. So I just started experimenting with it and using it right off the bat. And this, I mean, the packaging is cool. This container is cool, but it's a small little thing, and I've been applying it liberally. I thought liberally, like really laying this stuff on it. It still looks like I haven't even used it yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's awesome.
no, you know what? I haven't used this one yet. This one's brand
Okay, well
new.
that explains it. So,
Okay, but the other one even the thing will last forever. It doesn't cool. It doesn't have a cooling effect. So those of you that are looking for a cooling effect, which is sometimes I feel like just masking like something that's not
it
actually
masks it.
doing
You get out of
anything.
the shower, it maybe feels good for a couple minutes, then it just gets annoying.
Yeah, this actually like helped with the swelling because I had a crazy amount of discoloration swelling going on. My leg was jacked up for 3.5 weeks, really. Um, and it took the edge off the pain, especially being a lower extremity injury. It just throbbed constantly and it would just take the edge of the throbbing off, which was super nice. And
Yeah,
then they have the oil as well, the droplets, which I don't think they're out yet, but I can
they're coming out.
attest.
Brendan tells me they're coming out pretty soon.
I've got Allie into those. So like her and I just have I don't know if it's 75 milliliter. I don't know how much it is, but we have the little droplet of that at call it 7:30, 8 at night
Hmm.
and
Sleep like a baby,
sleep like a baby.
feel great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
like
dude,
really, I'm picky with this stuff, and this stuff's good. So
I
with
can't.
this, what we can do also, right, is we can put
Yeah,
the link
so
to this also.
listeners of the podcast, the fans of AJ can get 30% off of the Alias Pain Bomb. AJ Cat 30 promo code at checkout gets you 30% off. It's a hell of a deal. I mean, if you're familiar with CBD products, you know some of them have a pretty premium price. This stuff is priced right, and with AJ's
It is.
discount, you could save even more. And this isn't something that we're just plugging for the sake of it. AJ and I really believe in it, and I mean, the natural alternative to painkillers. Yeah, sometimes the pharmaceutical stuff, even over counter stuff, is good and you need it. But there's a lot of links to inflammation caused by anti-inflammatories, believe it or not. Like you stick on ibuprofen, it actually can cause inflammation. Gut health um, can suffer from the use of this stuff. Obviously, acetaminophen and liver issues and mixing it with alcohol and all that stuff. All bad stuff. Look, CBD is natural, comes from a beautiful plant. A lot of people love, and this stuff is a natural alternative to pain relief, and it works great, man. It really does.
It
So go check
truly
them out.
does.
Alias Sport. They got plenty of inventory. Um, Might be a little late for Christmas delivery now, but if you want a New Year's present for yourself or your family members, go check them out. AJCat30 at checkout, 30% off. It's awesome stuff.
Yes, sir. Yeah, truly, any company that we partner with, so any of the brands that you see on your side, on my side, we, and this is always, when I talk to brands, I'm not in it for the quick buck. Like, I'm in it to build a relationship, and I'm only going to build a relationship with the company that aligns with what I and us are, right?
Right.
And what we believe in. I'm not going to sell a product that like I'm like, oh, well, it's not going to work, but maybe I can make a quick, $1,000 here or there. Like I'm going to use a product that works,
I think
just like
that's important.
O'Neill,
That's
just like
that's what
EVS, just
makes
like Maxis.
it's kind of funny, the influencer culture, right? And
It's hurt people like me, but continue.
how so? Like it kind of erodes your authenticity with it.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
conversations that I
You kind
have
of
to
hinted at
have
that before. Yeah.
with every company. I was on the phone with the marketing director at Skydio. I could talk about that, I guess. And there was a conversation I had to have with her. I'm like, listen, I'm not your, I always put the air quotes around influencer because I just feel like they're in it for the quick money grab,
Hmm.
and they're in and they're out,
The
and they don't
volume. Yeah.
they don't
Plug,
care
plug, plug.
if they don't care what the company's getting from it.
Right. Or they don't necessarily align themselves with for
Yeah.
any particular reason.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stuff
So
drives me
yeah, I
nuts.
agree. I mean, that is something that we take very seriously in making sure that it's something we believe in, something that you can get behind. And what are you looking at? You okay?
Is guaranteed rate spelled EAD?
EAD? No. What are you looking at? This logo here? What? Where am I? I
Uh,
hate this mirrored stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Here,
right
check.
there. How spell that for me?
Guaranteed rate.
Teed.
Yes. I sure as hell hope so.
Dude, those E's are looking something's up with those E's because they look.
It's dude. It's you know what it is. It's like the background. It must be just interfering with something in here.
Yeah, maybe.
Um,
I can read it. So good
okay.
job doing the color editing there, but it just doesn't look like the right spelling of the word.
It's the one that our friend actually sent me. So I didn't
Okay,
like
so let's
type it
hope it's right.
myself. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought for a second that maybe you typed it,
Yeah.
or
We're
I
we're getting
just
there. We're getting there, AJ. Hold on a second. All right.
don't worry. We're not.
This is going to be an hour long plug after plug after plug. But we're getting there. Don't get ahead of yourself. Um, so that is a good segue, at least, into talking about the new place. So you're getting a new house, which is just keep adding to the pile of things that you need to do before Supercross season, right?
Dude, and I did it before last Supercross season. We closed on the home I'm sitting in now exactly a year ago. And
Exactly a year ago.
we
Okay.
we moved into
I
this
can't believe
home.
it's already been a year.
I know. We moved into this home 1 week before Supercross started. And it's going to be the exact situation. We close January 11th on the new home. We move in the 12th, and I fly out to Houston Supercross on the 16th. So I feel a little bit bad for Allie because we move into these homes and then I'm like, all right, see ya. But
Yeah, yeah.
she's flying her friend in, so it'll be good. She'll have some company.
Good. Um,
I'm pumped. I'm freaking so
so
pumped,
so
dude.
what prompted you to do this?
Uh,
Being
First,
you're in your other house for a year.
a few reasons. One, I'm spontaneous in the sense that like I wouldn't say I always want bigger and better things because I don't, but I felt like we were in a financial situation where the last year we did really well. And I'm like, she's 25. I just turned 27. If we could, why wouldn't we just continue to accumulate real estate? I think that it's a good retirement plan. Honestly, if we could have 3 or 4 homes paid off by the time we're 60 and have a couple $1 million in property, then boom,
Yeah.
that's your
Yeah.
retirement plan right there. Forget about 401ks and all of that. That'll be a bonus. Um, Not to mention, I need a garage. I don't have a garage here. We definitely want a backyard where we could just open the door and let bear out. We don't have that
Hmm.
here. We'll have that in the new home. Um, wanted to be a little closer to the track, even if we're just by like 15 or 20 minutes. I got that. It's like
Okay.
this
All
place, and
very reasonable.
yeah, uh, we didn't have to do it necessarily so soon. Like people, people
Hey,
must think
no
we're
better
crazy
time
for
than now, man. The freaking money is
dude.
so cheap right now. It's
Two two
ridiculous.
2.3% interest rate.
2.3?
2.3. So the mortgage on this is $100 more a month than the mortgage on the our current home. And that's a $250,000 more expensive home
Did you go
with
30? Is it 30 year?
yeah, with a $300 a month HOA, and it's still only $100 more a month or
Wow.
150.
I
It's
mean,
very
dude, I
comparable.
mean, for better or worse, money is just so cheap right now. So cheap. And I'll tell you, in the conversation I've had with some of my friends who are yet to be in homes, I'm like, why are you buying a
Dude.
house right now? It
Well,
is
we're wondering the
crazy.
same thing for the people that leased our place. We just signed a they just signed a contract 2-year
Yeah.
lease to move into this home. Um, and Allie and I are like, why the heck aren't they buying?
Well, I mean, there are some people like, and especially your area, I think is probably a little more prominent than elsewhere. You get a lot of turnover of talent, whether they might be coming in for a congressperson who, and they're only
Yeah,
going to
that's
be here
true.
for 2 years or,
That's
or
true.
4 years. So they don't want a long-term commitment. Maybe they're a military or a government contractor and they know they
Mhm.
only have a year to be here or two, so there may be some factors like that. It might be a layover, but for the people that I'm seeing that are just renting, throwing money at a rental, like it, 2.3% is like people get auto loans that are double that easily all the time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the car that I own that my mom now drives, I want to say that's probably 9 or 10% interest rate.
it's crazy. I mean, it like you said, it's building that wealth. I mean, we're not freaking experts, but we're I feel like smarter than the average person.
And
And
for me, you're way smarter than I am. That for me, that just seemed like a no-brainer. And also, like my money situation is confusing it's just confusing. So I didn't want to rely completely on Allie for all of our like savings accounts
mhm,
and investments and everything. And I'm like, this is just a, a no-brainer, especially if we can get tenants in here that are taking care of the place and paying off our mortgage. It's like, why the heck not?
yeah,
The thing
absolutely.
that always scared me is my uncle owns a bunch of apartments in Middletown,
Okay.
and the problem, and he's always like he's like AJ, don't ever do this.
Mhm.
But the problem is, I think it's they're far less expensive places. He's dealing with the riffraff. He has people that are not paying rent, and he's got to chase them down. He's got like people he's having to evict, and
Yeah,
drugs probably coming in and out of some of these places. Like
it
luckily
is.
we're at a price range where it's avoiding all of that, and I think that's
Yeah,
that right. That's probably the biggest
yeah. I would say so. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I would definitely agree. I mean, you're in a pretty affluent area.
because I'd like
There's
to be hands off as a
Are you
landlord.
gonna do like
I
property
can't take on.
management people, or are you gonna be a landlord?
No, I think we're gonna do it ourselves. I just hope that there's not that's another job. So I
So do
hope
you
that
have
there's
people
nothing.
lined up ready to fix the water heater, fix the plumbing, all that stuff? That the responsibilities that come with it,
Yeah,
being
we have
a
our
landlord.
contractor who's hard to get in touch with. I should probably have my
Line them up.
get
Yeah.
my contacts set up.
Does Virginia have? Because I know in Connecticut, they at least during COVID, you can't evict anyone. One of my buddies, Ricky, he owns
Mhm.
a two-family home, and he's having problems because they were
Oh,
having
he owns a
some.
place in Connecticut.
He does.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he owns a second house here. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on
Dang,
the hunt myself,
good
actually.
for him.
Yeah.
For a second one?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's going to be like a rental property locally or like a Airbnb type rental
Oh
somewhere
yeah, you
like
were saying that.
Tahoe.
Oh, I think
Um,
either way, dude. Right now is a good time if you can swing it.
yeah, it's, I mean, if you have it, it's kind of silly to just let it sit and do nothing for sure. But I'll tell you
Even
what,
if you're paying top dollar for the house, which
it
we
is
did.
right. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, right now it is definitely a seller's market. Things can. I mean, even in my neighborhood, dude, freaking one day houses sell in one day
Mm-hmm.
above asking.
Yep. Same
Um,
here. Sucks.
so
Dude, it was
right,
a
but you
freaking
but
nightmare to get into this house. It was a
yeah. I mean, I know
nightmare.
your story's been crazy. But hey, you want to know something? This is a great
Hmm.
segue again into our next partner.
You're really on point. Do you have notes or something written down?
No, I'm just marketing minded, I guess. Guys, if you are in what are we going to call your area? The Delmarva greater area, and even nationwide. If you are looking to get yourself into a first home, if you're looking to refinance, if you're looking for an investment property, you need to do yourself a favor. You need to get over to Guaranteed Rate, and you need to give Ron Riccatelli a call. He's out of the Baltimore area. He and his team are going to help you get the best possible rate, help you with all of the aspects of the financing and your mortgage. It can definitely seem daunting if it's your first time. They're going to make it easy for you. It's going to be a great experience with him. So you really need to get in touch with Ron Riccatelli. Guaranteed Rate. They're an awesome company, especially this time right now where money is so cheap. You have an opportunity right now to get yourself into a home, make that investment into another property. So give them a call. We're going to give all of the information on how to get in touch with Ron in the description in the video. We have their logo prominently displayed here for him. He's a great guy.
You want
I've
to know the
had the
best part about
pleasure.
Ron?
What's up? He loves Supercross. He loves
He's
motocross,
a dirt bike guy.
dirt bikes.
So
Yeah,
you know you can trust him.
definitely. He's vested in AJ. He's taken his classes. He's got four little guys who are riders. So he's in the scene and he knows what it's all about. So he'll take care of you, take care of all of our listeners, all the fans of AJ. Go check him out. We're gonna give you all the information. Do yourself a favor if you've kind of thought about it recently and you're seeing people buy houses or you're sick of renting, you know how low interest rates are going. You keep seeing the ads. Click the link for Guaranteed Rate. Get yourself hooked up with Ron and that team, and he will make your life very, very, very good.
That
So,
description below is going to be full of good stuff for you guys. Holy cow.
yay.
And you're good at this today, by the way.
Yeah,
Because guys, I'm telling you, none of this is pre-planned. These are organic
this is
conversations that Bryce is
top of
just
the head.
freaking sliding them in there.
Sliding in, baby.
Attaboy.
Yep.
Oh man, this gamer chair is wicked comfortable. I'm not doing another plug. Don't worry.
I'm not either.
My
Dude,
back freaking hurts.
I've never really had the desire or need for any sort of like decent office chair. It just like it's not one of those things that I desire. I'm not a streamer. I don't need some fucking Omega or whatever they're $500.
Well, you do
It's
now.
not my
Now that you're a
style.
podcaster.
No. It's not even. I got shit. I got shit for this chair. I got shit for this chair from one of my buddies who's like a big streamer fan. He's like, dude, everybody's gonna troll on you so hard for buying a Staples chair. I'm
What's it
like,
say? What brand is it? Does it say something behind your neck?
dude, it's. I
Does it say
think it's just
Staples?
like this. No, I think
Oh,
Emerge. It's like the Staples. It must be the Staples like private label.
I'll have
Like,
Mavic send you one of these bad boys. Where's the
dude,
logo?
I'll tell you that thing looks absolutely beautiful and comfortable. This
It's
is this is
sick.
this is like one of those things I saw in the store. I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna be on video, I should at least look the part as opposed to like sitting in like a wicker chair.
I'll have him send you one of these, and then you need to reach out to a mic company. Reach out to Shure. Shure might be tough because it's
This
reach
we're
out
gonna
to
see how this
Blue
sounds.
somebody. Don't
Yeah.
reach out to that company.
No. This is
Get
there
us,
is
but I want to have like
this came
continuity. I want
from
us in the
this
same
mic.
chairs. I want us to talking to the
This
same
mic
mics.
came from probably where coronavirus started. Like I'm 99% positive. No, this is an Amazon special. We'll see what happens
It
as we
sounds
get further
fine
in this.
as far as I could tell. But reach out
Hopefully,
to a microphone company, get us some freaking mics so we can look
that's
the
the next
part.
step, man. That's the next step. And when you get in the new place, I think the studios on both of our parts are gonna get an upgrade pretty soon, right?
Oh, dude, I
When I'm
have a
done with my
whole
basement,
room
yeah,
dedicated. It's going to be a man cave slash studio slash YouTube office slash spin cycle pain cave.
Yeah,
I don't know
good
how I'm gonna
deal.
fit everything in there, but it's gonna be sick.
Well, directly in front of me, behind, no, not behind you,
My
directly in
Zwift
front of
TV
me.
is right there.
My Zwift, yeah, I got my
And
Zwift
my
set up. And
bicycle's right behind me.
love it. I love it.
Well, this was fun. Should we keep going or are we done?
You know what? Let's wrap it up. I'm actually pretty tired. It's 11 p.m.
I'm exhausted. I've usually been
It's
sleeping for
it's it's
three
been
hours
one of
now.
those days, man. It's been one of those days. Uh,
Dude, I'm pumped.
this is the time
Go.
where
I'm
having a
excited
toddler is what?
I'm excited to get back into this. Like really excited.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Yeah,
I think
I'm
we're good at
what?
this. We do pretty good. Like this is our first one back in forever. We did just
I
fine.
like the video because I mean, how many times you've been in the car, you've been driving. I generally hold like an iPad or a laptop pacing around my house trying to
Are
multitask.
you struggling sitting still?
Very much so.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not
Oh my God.
fidgeting that bad
I'm not
either.
fidgeting that bad. I
I
think
think I'm fidgeting more than you are.
the lights have me completely tunnel visioned onto the camera. Like I'm like a deer in headlights. So I feel
Yeah,
I feel fine.
you're doing good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also
Uh,
distracted by my own shirt, so I keep looking at it, and that keeps me from fidgeting.
oh, I'm for sure wearing a green shirt next episode. Just
Dude,
so I'm avoiding
did you see my storage pocket?
That's the only thing this Maxis sweater is lacking is I don't have this. They got to
Well,
get with the
really, you're
program.
supposed to. So these
How do I
T-Rexes
wash
are.
this thing? Am I gonna ruin it if I wash it?
I would wash it like cold, gentle cycle, whatever.
Don't dry, obviously, right?
Um, see, these guys are toasting beers, I think, and you're supposed to put a beer in here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like big enough for a big beer glass.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like walk
I
around.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you realistically think you could get this up tomorrow for the YouTubes? Or
Yeah,
is that gonna be
absolutely.
pushing it? Oh, cool.
I mean, it is Christmas Eve, so Santa might be distracting me, but I'm gonna do my damn well best. That's for sure.
Awesome. Dude, I have to piss like a racehorse. Like, no kidding.
Just wear a
Oh,
diaper next time, like I do.
I got to pee so bad.
All right, man. Hey, well, this has been fun. Definitely looking forward to the next evolution of this.
Okay, guys listening, guys watching, subscribe to this YouTube channel. But also, if you want to listen to just the audio, how can they do that?
So the audio is going to be on iTunes. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be kind of everywhere podcast you go for podcasts. So our website on Podbean is going to have it, and pretty much everywhere.
We're
It
assuming
gets
that
uploaded everywhere.
and a single person's listened this far into the episode. But
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
always
still
a problem.
here,
If you're still
sorry.
engaged, yeah, go
Uh,
check it out. And if they're listening, why do we need to tell them where to listen to it? Oh, because if they're on YouTube, and they
Yeah,
wanna
right.
listen
These
in the
might be a
car.
first time
Right.
viewers.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think the plan though will be to eventually take the full episodes of this and bring it to its own behind the gate YouTube channel, and then maybe just do the clips on my YouTube or I don't know. We got to figure
Something
that
to
out.
that
But
effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. If we can get some of the guests that we have on the wish list on, I think that's the route we're gonna take.
yeah,
So
dude,
we'll
I'm
see.
pumped. All right.
Hopefully.
I gotta go potty now.
Cool, man. All right, buddy. Hey,
right.
if I don't talk to you, I'm sure I'll talk to you. But Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to
Merry
everybody out
Christmas.
there. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. Kwanzaa. All the good stuff. And we'll see you next
Awesome.
time.
Great success.
All right,
Toodaloo.
buddy. Adios.